Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. So I guess at this point, the question is, who do the Democrats even have left? You know, it feels like the Democrats are experiencing a little bit of an identity crisis these days. They were supposed to be the people of the working class. But then, of course, post-Obama, the working class shifted over to Donald Trump, and so I guess the working class no longer belongs to the Democrat Party. In fact, the working class is now racist, according to the Democrats, for having supported Donald Trump. So I guess that relationship's over. The only thing the Democrats have left is the billionaire class now, even though they keep telling us that Donald Trump supposedly represents billionaires. And so, you know, whatever, I guess it is what it is. You lose people in one voter group, you gain in another. Democrats aren't worried. They still have the black and Hispanic vote. Well, that's another area where they seem to be failing spectacularly and shedding voters like never before. So they're losing the working class, losing minority voters. What about young voters? Well, they're losing them too, and even losing young minority voters, as James Carville warned the other day.
You know, I've been very vocal about this. It's horrifying, our numbers among younger voters, particularly younger blacks, younger Latinos, or whatever, but whatever younger people of color, particularly males. We're not shedding them. They're leaving in the droves.
He also made the point recently that had a lot of leftists very, very offended. He claimed that the Democrat Party has become the party of preachy females.
In a new interview in the New York Times, the Raging Cajun says Democrats are losing male voters because of the women telling them what to do. He said, quote, "A suspicion of mine is that there are too many preachy females. Don't drink beer, don't watch football, don't eat hamburgers. This is not good for you. Everything you're doing is destroying the planet. You've got to eat your peas."
And you know, a lot of people are offended, but I'm kind of thinking he's right. The question I keep asking myself, and the question at the start of the video, who do they have left? I mean, what comprises the Democrat base these days? It's mostly young women, single moms, and billionaires. Not much left. Oh, I almost forgot a group. That's the celebrities, the Hollywood celebrities, and their cult followers. But even there, it seems as though, at least these days, Democrats aren't as solid as they once were. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. Joe Biden is quickly turning out to be the worst thing to ever happen to Democrats. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so I have to admit this is the last group of people that I ever expected to be slowly jumping off the bandwagon, but it's happening. We've seen a bunch of celebrities as of late, all of a sudden confident enough these days to come out and criticize the status quo, considering at one point it seemed almost as if it was their job to attack Donald Trump and endorse any Democrat candidate. I'd say this is a pretty significant change. And today's celebrity who's done with all the nonsense is none other than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I guess he's slowly learning the errors of his way after simply buying in and being the establishment's most useful Hollywood shill. After his last embarrassing ordeal with Oprah Winfrey, I think he's finally learned a lesson not to be a complete establishment tool. Just take a look.
You made that endorsement in 2020. Are you happy with the state of America?
Am I happy with the state of America right now? Well, that answer is no. Do I believe we're going to get better? I believe in that. I'm an optimistic guy, and I believe we can get better. The endorsement that I made years ago with Biden was one I thought was the best decision for me at that time. And I thought back then, when we talk about, hey, I'm in this position where I have some influence, and it's my job then. I felt like that then. It's my job now to exercise my influence and share with this is who I'm going to endorse. Am I going to do that again this year? That answer is no.
Now, a lot of people are saying it's not significant, whatever, just a random celebrity. You know, it's funny that leftoids say that, because of course we know how important celebrity endorsements are to these Democrat activists when it benefits them. But of course, when it's a different sentiment, then it doesn't matter. No, this matters, and it matters big time, because what we're seeing are Joe Biden's biggest endorsements from all the people with the most influence unwilling to do it again. I mean, for Pete's sakes, I don't even think Taylor Swift has officially endorsed the guy. I'm sure she will at some point, but she certainly wasn't as eager as she was back in 2020, now was she? The Rock is so uneager that he's not willing to do it at all. And even to be honest with you guys, Jay-Z and Beyonce seem to also be missing from the mix this year. You know, it's gotten to the point where all the big celebrities, all the biggest Democrat shill celebrities, aren't really getting political this time round, and so Democrats are forced to have to draw politics from the art that they create. Michelle Obama says Beyonce's Cowboy Carter album is a reminder to vote. Yeah, I'm sure it is. Michelle Obama said that she is so proud of Beyonce for reminding listeners of their power, especially when it comes to voting. This album reminds us that we all have power. There's power in our history, in our joy, and in our votes. Yeah, my apologies, but when your interpretation of an album is that it's a call to vote, when it very likely isn't and is completely unrelated, yeah, that to me, I don't know, signals just a little bit of desperation now, doesn't it? Please, Beyonce, please, endorse old sleepy creepy Joe. Well, they're desperate because they know that Joe Biden probably can't get over the finish line without the Taylor Swifts and Beyoncés of the world, and probably also without the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnsons of the world. Joe Biden is nothing without the media, without establishment figures propping him up. Well, those figures are dropping off one at a time. You know, everybody tells you that everyone turns on Donald Trump. Everyone from his past now hates him. And, you know, they always point to some deep state actor. Ooh, Michael Cohen hates Donald Trump and John Bolton. Okay, so? Meanwhile, Democrats are losing their most ardent supporters. They're people with the biggest influence, the people with the biggest audience. Ooh, Michael Cohen told his 5 fans, who are all green-haired leftists, that Orange Man bad. That won't have too much of an effect. But the biggest movie star of our generation, at least one of them, maybe not the greatest actor, maybe not the greatest movies, but pretty much one of the biggest commercial movie stars, is now telling the world that he regrets endorsing Joe Biden. That stings. That's gonna make a difference. And that's especially going to make a difference for all the normie people who actually make their opinions based on this stuff. There's a lot of regular Joes, a lot of regular people who aren't politically involved who just heard that. And essentially what that tells them is that, you know what? You don't have to endorse Joe Biden. You don't have to do what's politically correct or what peer pressure dictates you do. And you don't need to be intimidated, forced and coerced to push anti-Trump, Orange Man bad talking points over and over again. You can do and say what you think is right. What I think is catching on is courage. I think a lot of people are realizing that you can't give in to the establishment social peer pressure. And a big thing that I think has taught people a good lesson lately is cancel culture, or more importantly, how to deal with cancel culture. In the past, the pitchfork cancel mob would set their crosshairs on you, and it was total panic mode. Your agents are calling you. You're losing deals as we speak. Issue an apology. And every celebrity, without question, just bowed down. My apologies, woke green-haired people. I am so sorry that I said men can't get pregnant. I will correct myself on the record. I will kiss all of your feet and pray to the altar of wokeness. My apologies. That was the reaction, but really ever since the whole Dave Chappelle situation, I think people realize that the best reaction is to simply say, no, you're canceled. No, I'm not. Take a hike. I'm standing by my opinion. What I said is right. Dave Chappelle did it first, and now a lot of celebrities seem to be following suit. Well, I think we're honestly seeing something very similar as more and more celebrities are saying no. They don't want to be the useful idiots of the Democrat establishment. They're no longer interested. And so the Democrats have lost yet again another one of their most powerful tools. What exactly is left? All Joe Biden has left are the billionaires who support him and the dependents who rely on him. There's not much of a voter coalition really going on. And really what that signals, I'd say, is a very, very big enthusiasm problem. There's no enthusiasm. Back in 2020, there was all kinds of enthusiasm. Remember this.
And I have never publicly endorsed a presidential candidate or a vice presidential candidate in my life, over my career. So I figured let's kick this conversation off this way by me officially publicly endorsing you both to become president and vice president of our great country.
And well, we've gone from that, oh, I'm so honored. Let me endorse you. Let me do anything to get you guys elected. We went from that to disillusioned and depressed and sad.
This is who I'm going to endorse. Am I going to do that again this year? That answer's no.
We went from a peak to an absolute valley, a low, with no rebound really in sight. No realistic rebound, that is. Joe Biden is damaged goods. He is dusty. People are not interested. And I guess you could say the wheels are just falling off this campaign. Joe Biden's supposed big fundraising advantage, now that Trump's out of the primary process, is shrinking like we've never seen before. He doesn't have an advantage. He's losing support in so many voter groups. He's losing in every state, every important state, that is. And it seems as though it's just getting worse. The phantom Biden surge thing we've been talking about, it isn't happening. There is no rebound. Quite quite the opposite. It seems as though we're seeing complete Democrat disintegration. What's left? Not much. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.